Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Hoping this is gonna go just fine. New software, new setup, and let's just see how it goes, shall we? This is gonna be interesting. So let me just start this up. Okay, brilliant. According to my information, sound is good. Hope that will be the case for you guys as well. I might just check that real quick with my AirPods. Yep, okay, that's awesome. Right, here we go. Let's get into the update. The updates were just coming in all over the place. It was a particularly eventful night for Israel. Let's just say the north was pretty hectic. Basically, what happened was the IDF, what they do, you see, and most military do, is they send in a particular group of workers that are contracted for the IDF, and they will go in and they will essentially pave the way, as it were. They will create pathways, road networks, all this type of stuff, remove obstacles, preparing the way for the IDF to move in on the north. And what happened last night was this was happening during the night. So we had a team moving towards the north. They were preparing a roadway or something of this nature. It's not quite clear. And what happens is when they're using the machinery, so they may be using something like a bulldozer or something of that nature, they will cut the lights and they'll work without lights because they don't want the enemy to see them. So that's what happened in this case. However, somehow, and I've got to be careful, what I say, because YouTube wants to give me strikes and all this type of stuff just for even mentioning different names of people involved in this stuff. So the enemy in the north, let's put it like that. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. Somehow they figured out that these guys were there, whether they knew they were contractors or whether they thought it was the IDF actually moving, we don't know. But they basically attacked that specific location. Now, 2 vehicles were destroyed at that time, and there was fighting which lasted over an hour between the IDF and the enemies on the north. Now, during this time of fighting, the IDF were actually trying to reach one of the individuals that was particularly not in a good condition. I can't say for sure what his condition was at that time, but we now know that he is no longer here, unfortunately, and he was an Israeli citizen, so that has obviously created some issues right there. It was a hectic night. The IDF shut down communications in regards to this. They didn't want anybody leaking the information, whether that was soldiers that were involved in it or people that were on social media. Any of those things, they didn't want it to leak. Obviously, though, with the different sources that are available, with people in Lebanon and also in Gaza and Israel, and various other locations around there, it wasn't difficult to find out what had happened. So I was able to find out that information. I had to keep it quiet just purely out of respect for the wishes of the IDF. Now that's what happened last night. Intense fighting on the north. There was, or rather there has been over 150 rockets fired, I believe it's rockets, towards the north from Israel, just taking out infrastructure of the enemy. And it's been pretty hectic up there, I must say. So that's the first update that we're going to jump into, or we have rather already. We're going to just flick back and see what else has happened today. Basically you've got the leader of the north, enemies from the north, Hassan Nasrallah. He's threatening Israel, saying that the residents in the north will not return. Basically, Israel needs to be prepared to find them alternative shelter, because the north is going to turn pretty crazy very soon. If you think about what happened last night, it's clear that the IDF were making further preparations to move in for a ground operation, and I guess that might be slightly delayed now due to what happened, but they'll obviously press on, no doubt. There was also another plot that was foiled today by the IDF soldiers. They stopped 2 individuals that were going to again, watching my words so that I don't get striked on this one. I might just say whatever's happening and just, it is what it is. Hopefully I don't get the channel shut down at some point. But basically they had intentions to, try and repeat what happened on October 7th in a way. Probably not as drastic, but still intentions to cause issues like that. Staying with the IDF, we've been updated that President Biden will no longer impose sanctions on the IDF units. This is a good thing, obviously. Absolute insanity that America would even consider imposing sanctions on IDF units. But with what's happening in America anyway, across different universities, and the amount of anti-Semitism there is just absolutely insane. Honestly, what is happening in America and the West is terrible. It's truly a bad thing. You see it here in London. I'm not in London, but when I went to visit London the other day, I see stickers, posters up saying, end the apartheid in Palestine. It's just absolute madness, and it's just getting out of control now. You've got students raising up flags of their enemy on American soil, and what you have to understand, the enemies of Israel are also the enemies of the United States. So it just doesn't make sense. People have lost their minds. They've really lost touch with reality. But that's what we're told, right, in the Bible. People will call good evil and evil good. And that's exactly what we're seeing in these last days. It is what it is. We keep praying for Israel. We keep praying for the Jewish people that, they will be under the protection of our Father in heaven. And we know that He's watching over us all and over the nation of Israel as well. He sees all things. He knows all things. And this comes as no surprise to Him that this is happening. The enemy, and I'm talking about the enemy, has been trying to annihilate the Jewish people for the longest time, and it's still happening today, as you can see. What will happen in America? I don't know. Will Biden have to activate further necessary measures to take control of this situation? Maybe. All depends whether he's going to have the backbone to do it. We will see. But that's just a rant there. I've been thinking about this situation that's happening in America for a while now, and just got to say, it's It's ridiculous that this is happening, honestly. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Syria. It was reported today that it was reported in Syrian media, actually, that Israel has warned Assad, the president of Syria, don't allow further attacks from your territory or we will overthrow you. This is crazy. I know that's been said before, but with what's happening in the Middle East right now, with the surrounding territories around Israel, it's not as crazy as it seems. It seems to me that Israel basically is on everyone's radar at this point. And they know this. They're in a situation where they have to survive. They've got to survive, and we know that they do. We know that they do survive. But those that don't follow the Bible, those that don't read their Bible, they don't know this. But Israel are in a state where they have to survive. And at this point, it may just be a case of, okay, if you're going to cause harm to us, or if you're a potential threat, we're going to deal with you. We'll deal with these guys first, but then we're coming to deal with you. So let's see what happens. Obviously, like I said on Telegram, it's interesting. Anytime I see Syria, it reminds me of Isaiah 17, where you see Damascus being destroyed. It's going to happen. Prophecy tells us that Damascus will be destroyed. It's one of the oldest cities that there is, and it's still there. It's ancient, but it's standing still. That prophecy will come to pass eventually, and it may be soon. When I say soon, I don't mean next week or in a month. Perhaps it might be in, say, a year. Who knows? But things are definitely getting tense there, especially with Iran and having their officers placed there at times, and what happened also to the Iranian embassy or Iranian diplomatic building the other day when Israel hit that. Questions whether that's what it's used for or not. Who knows? That's just something that, that's something that Israel and Iran know. So that's definitely interesting, very interesting there. We have the situation in Rafah as well, and basically Egypt is trying to broker a deal between Israel and Hamas. Oh, there you go. I said it. I said one name. Maybe I'll get flagged up for that. But Israel's trying to broker a deal. Egypt is trying to broker a deal. They basically want an end to the operation that's planned in Rafah. They do not want Israel to move in. Just like America don't want Israel to move in, and anybody else does not want Israel to move in. But they've got to. They have to finish this mission that they've started of destroying the enemy in that location. Obviously, the enemy there is currently running scared. They know that they got their back up against the wall and that Israel is coming for them. So they understand the situation here. So maybe a deal to them might be in their interest. Obviously, they're trying to hold out and say, hey, this is how it's going to happen. You have to do what we say. We've got the Israeli abductees, so you need to do what we say. It never favors Israel. The deals never ever favor Israel, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. It sucks, but that's just the way it is. So basically, the deal that's being proposed is they will exchange 20 of the abductees, the hostages, in exchange for a 3-week truce and a stop to the planned operation in Rafah. With Benjamin Netanyahu in control, I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know, right? You never know what could potentially happen, or whom has influence in the leadership there as well. We're just going to have to wait and see. Obviously, America is a big player, and for some reason, being that they are so, I don't want to say powerful, because America's not really powerful like they used to be, but they still have an influence to some degree. If we're going to be totally honest, they have an influence, And if they're also pushing their influence with the Egyptians on Israel, hey, who knows what could happen, or what could come of this. The latest I've heard is that they're going to proceed with Rafah. Time will tell. It's not 100% solid or guaranteed that that's going to happen now. So that's pretty much the updates. I haven't been able to keep up to date with certain things for a few hours. I've been super busy and trying to set up this live stream and make it work. But I hope it's been okay. I hope that you guys have been able to hear the audio fine. You've been able to see this. There hasn't been much lag with connection to the internet or anything like that. If there has, please let me know, because that would be really useful feedback for me. And I would be able to use that to improve future live streams and recordings. So with that said, should there be any more updates that require me to jump on the live stream and let you know, I will do. The other thing is, I want to potentially address some claims that have been made as of late about the red heifers. It's quite surprising to me in a way that these claims are being made, because they don't necessarily have a basis biblically, and there's certain things that are being said, like this can't happen because this isn't here, and things like that, which just is not necessarily 100% true. So I might just address that situation, just to bring forward information that is accurate. I'm not 100% on that yet. I may do so. As for updates, I had a few comments asking, is there any further updates with the red heifers? At this point, no, there's not that I'm aware of anyway. And I have been talking to people involved with the red heifers. Obviously there is things happening, obviously there is updates all the time, but whether they want to tell us that is another situation altogether. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. As soon as I get information, you guys will get the information as well. Okay, it's been wonderful. I need to get myself home. I need to get some dinner. I'm getting hungry. Thank you for tuning in, and I will try to get back to you ASAP. Follow on the Telegram. That's where you can see all of the information without me having to filter it for YouTube, and also videos, pictures, all that type of thing that YouTube would not appreciate. They could be found on the Telegram. Come over and join us. I appreciate you guys joining me today here on the live stream. Have a blessed weekend, and God bless you guys. Now I need to figure out how to finish this live stream on this new software. There we go. Yep. All right. God bless.